What is good, guys? It's Ronald, also known as Youcapper from Sportsmemo.com. Got my guy Chris with me today, running some NBA and SDQL on Let's Cap today. We're gonna try to run through some of the games today. Hopefully all four if we have time, and kind of run it the way that we did with the MLB. Hopefully we can get through and get into like a rhythm here, just like we did in baseball, and come out with some good plays. With that said, man, how's your season been so far? It's been one week.
Yeah, it's been a week, RC. Appreciate you sending me the invite for one. And it's been good, bro. It's been good. It's been hard to get in like a rhythm because I'm last year I would find these grooves, kind of like we did in the MLB season, right? Like when we got enough data, you just kind of like, kind of hit the ground running and it's boom, boom, boom. And I feel like this so far this year, I'm like, I'll go 2-1, and then I'll go 1-2, and then I'll go 3-1, and then I'll go 0-1. So it's like really
Yeah.
hard to get into that groove where I'm like, 7-1. I did cash a ladder on Ben Mathurin. That was nice the other day. Took him all the way up to 25 when it was plus 880. So that was nice. But other than that, it's just been good days and then bad days. Yesterday, I've been doing 2 shows a day. So first morning show gave out a play, cash 1-0. Evening time, I take the Nets last night. And they lose, right? And I saw you was on that over yesterday too, RC, between the Pacers and the 76ers.
Yeah,
I
that
took
was
it
a
at
heartbreaker.
227 too. Yeah, I took it
Yeah,
at
that was
227. Of
heartbreaker.
course, they finished at 226. So it's just little small things like that, like the difference between a 2-1 day versus a 1-2 day. So we'll get it back, and we'll, as we start to see more games, we'll get more information and more data so we can be sharper with our plays. But it's been a pretty good season so far, RC. I'm up like 4 units.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Captain 101, first time on the show. Yeah, it's been a while since I actually had the show, so you caught us at a good time.
I think you was on my show earlier. Appreciate you checking in, Kevin.
Yeah, that's dope. And Mitch, obviously, one of our one of our biggest supporters now, or one of our friends. So it's dope
Absolutely.
to
Me
see
and
him
Mitch
out
chopped it
here.
up earlier.
Yes, sir. Matt Stoney, what's up? Yeah, the thing is, I mean, for me, I started out the season pretty good, and then yesterday had a down day. I think I was kind of like, I was in one of those spots where I was kind of like a heat check type of moment. You know what I mean?
You
It was
shot
one
it
of
from
those
half
moments.
court?
Yeah, yeah. And it was like, all right, there's that wall right there. So I went 1-4, still 14-10-1 on the season. A lot of my bigger plays though, the ones that I put up a little bit more, those hit. So I'm happy those happened. And then my smaller bets, like I had like a prop bet one of the days, and one of the team total plays as well. I played those at a smaller unit size. So those lost, but that's fine. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully today we can catch some stuff. With that said, man, let's get into the slate today. First game up, Pistons in Washington here. Wizards are -5.5 was the last time I saw it. Totals are on 220. What are you thinking about this game? Have you looked into this one? I'm gonna share my screen and we'll pop up
Yeah.
some of the stuff that we usually do.
Yeah, for sure. I see. So I think it's a difficult game to cap from a size perspective, and it's really just because I don't think that we have seen enough of the Pistons so far yet to
Mhm.
kind of give them a good assessment. I don't know what your thoughts were on Detroit for the season, RC, but I expected them to take a step in the right direction, playing under
Yeah,
Dwayne Casey, getting Cade, into second year of his development. I like them. I like them to take a step forward, and they haven't done so far. And they come into this game, off 2 days rest, but two road losses as well. They started the season with a win against Orlando. Then
hmm,
they got beat by Indiana of all teams. You don't want to lose to Indiana, right?
yeah,
Lost to Indiana by 9, and of course they got beat down to the Knicks, who I'm pretty high on, by 24 last week as well. This is also first night of a back-to-back, RC, and looking forward. I want to give the audience just something. So they actually travel back home because it's a road home back-to-back. They get Atlanta tomorrow, and that spread actually opened at 5. I like Atlanta in that spot, RC. I know we didn't discuss that, but I like Atlanta to cover tomorrow against Detroit, the more rested team in a motivated spot after losing to a Charlotte team that was extremely shorthanded, right? So I
yeah.
already looked ahead, and I like that spot for Atlanta tomorrow to be able to come out and get that one done. But then on the opposite side, I see you get the Wizards in this one. They come in 2-1. They've alternated. This is the thing. We didn't talk about this before the show, RC, but they come in. They've alternated between home road for the first 4 games, and I'm interested to know how you think that impacts them if at all, right? So home road so far. This is their fourth game, so they're back home. They had the 7-point win against Indiana to start, 2-point win against Chicago, and then a 10-point loss in overtime to Cleveland. So I think we've seen them play pretty good. They have Porzingis, of course. He's healthy. They have Kuzma, and they have Bradley Beal, who they gave the bag to over the offseason. But this one, RC, looking at it from the perspective of these two teams actually playing each other, you get the Pistons, who are 7-1 in their last 8 games in DC, but the Wizards have won 5 straight, and are 7 of the last 9 overall. ATS wise, the games go back and forth, right? So that both teams are 3-3 over the last 6, RC. So from a capping perspective, I think it's really, really difficult. The Wizards didn't cover the last time that they were at home against Detroit. I think the line opened at 5 and they won by 3. So I think that's what the bookmakers are telling us here. So really, really difficult for me to kind of cap it and figure out a side. I don't think I want to lay 5.5 points, but if I had to pick a side, that's the only way I'd be able to look in this one.
Yeah, just on your point about the road home, you can look that these are all on the Eastern Conference side, right? So they're not traveling all the way across to the West Coast and then coming back. So hopefully that's not a big issue. But one thing that I've seen on the Detroit side here is they're playing their second time playing back-to-back games, right? So we got Knicks and Pacers here back-to-back, then now Wizards Hawks back-to-back. You can see how that kind of affected them in these plays. They actually got dominated in both of these games here. If we look specifically towards that first quarter as well, which is where we were kind of talking about it earlier before the show, is you can see the difference in how they start those games off. Averaging 24 points per game in that first quarter, allowing 27.7. On the opposite side, the Wizards, each game in the first quarter, they've scored 30 plus. So the way that I was looking at it was just how they start the games off. And to me, I think the Wizards starting lineup and how they connect, how they gel together, I feel like they have a pretty good team set up there. And Beal is not that selfish guy that he used to be a couple years ago. He's pretty much sort of like I want to say, like, I wouldn't say like he's their point guard, but they definitely run through him a majority of the plays. And I think they set him up pretty well. They put solid guys around him that put themselves in the right position to start the games off well. And hopefully, I think they do that again here. I think one of the things you mentioned before the show too is the importance of Bagley on the defensive side of the ball. Just that length that they don't have. Isaiah Stewart is he's a rough player. He's a tough player down in the post, but he just doesn't have that length. You know what I mean? And Bagley does, not just height, but he got that long, the long reach as well. So that's one thing that I feel like that Detroit is missing on the defensive side of the ball. So 2 ways that I could look at this is probably Wizards team total over, or just take them in the first quarter to take that spread, just based off how they've been doing all together to start the season and to start the first quarters. One thing, now I don't remember what I brought up earlier. That was like 2-0 or something. I can't remember, but it might have been just them as favorites right now. But they're doing a good job. I think overall the Wizards are a better team to start out the season. Just a better team overall. The chemistry is there, and that Kuzma is playing at a high rate. Porzingis is just doing his job. I don't think teams are relying on him to be a number 2 anymore. Right? He's kind of just going into that role player mode, and he's doing it well. So to me, I think Wizards is the only way that I could look. Just those 2 ways: team total over, and maybe the Wizards first quarter. What are your thoughts on that one?
I like it, RC. I like both of them. Like I said, I think we just kind of I'm hesitant to, and I like the team total over a little bit more, because if you look at Detroit's defense, it's bad. I think they're giving up the 5th most points per game in the league, and they haven't really faced a lot of great offensive teams. That's what games against Detroit. The Indiana Pacers, who aren't the worst offensive team, but they're of course missing guys as well. I think the other thing that kind of backs your point as well, RC, is that when you look at Washington, we remember how they started last season, right? So they started last season really, really well. I can't remember exactly what they were, but they were, they were causing a lot of economic damage to the betting world, because a lot of people didn't have them as favorites. and they were going in and winning games straight up and covering spreads. So that kind of bodes well for a healthy Bradley Beal last year before he got injured, and them doing well, and the same thing this year. I had a player prop in this one that I wanted to talk about a little bit, though, RC.
Yeah, was that?
And I gave it out earlier. Jaden Ivey over 23.5 points on the Detroit side. I took it this morning. I locked it in this morning, gave it out on my show, minus 115. So he's played at least 29 minutes in each of the first 3 games. Coach Dwayne Casey clearly trusts him. I think that's the second. He's second on the team in minutes. The Pistons are also playing a lot faster this year. I think I had them written down at 10th in pace to start the season. And Jaden Ivey's cleared this number in all 3 games so far this season. His lowest PRA being 26.
Yeah.
He's also had 30 and 32. So 23.5 seems like a bargain. I also think, RC, that there's something to capping these rookies right before the season starts and jumping on their lines before the markets know exactly where to set them. Consistently. We see guys like Bonchero. He continues to go over his player prop. A guy like Mathurin went over his player prop 3 or 4 times already, and he barely missed yesterday on the hook. His player prop was 17.5, his points prop. So I think that, continue to, just be able to find value in those markets before the market can get those guys set, where appropriately, where they should be. And shout out to our guy Finesse. A lot of people on Kuzma today for sure. I see. I got some DMs, people telling me they're taking Kuzma over. I think he was at 16.5, 17.5.
Yeah.
Finesse said get him up at 20. I like it, Finesse. Get that plus money.
Yeah, I think I think you did say points the first time, but you said PRA the second time. So yeah, definitely IV PRA was what you
Yes.
Yeah.
PRA, you're right, actually. My fault.
Yeah. That's an interesting question on this one thing too. The 5.5. Do you think it closes or will it move? I'm not too sure, man. Let's look at what Wagertalk says. So majority, pretty much everyone's at 5.5. It went from 5 to 5.5. A lot of tickets on Washington, and money on Washington as well. If you guys look at that stuff, I like to focus primarily on Circa, just because they're one of the more sharp books, and they've gone down from open from 223 to 220, and up just a half point there. I'm not too sure. I mean, to me, it seems like it would probably go up. Maybe if it does go up, it'll only go up to maybe 6, nothing higher than that.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have anything official, but definitely a strong look towards that first quarter on Washington. Either the spread or maybe even probably the spread on Washington would be my lean here, my biggest lean on this game. All right, so next one here, Mavericks and Pelicans. This one's at minus 5.5. Total are at, I think it's 218.5 now. It went down after the news. So this morning, I think the biggest news this morning was Zion and Jones going from questionable to out, and that only moved the point, the line 1 full point. To me, that means they already kind of had them trending towards being out versus playing. So that's why it only moved a little bit. I think in my eyes, this probably should have been like a 2-point line instead of a 4.5 open or a 4 open. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I see. So I think it's a tough game to cap. Short answer is you got. I feel like you got to take the Mavs. The reason why I want to I think it's a Mavs spot, but I think these are 2 buy-on teams. It's hard for me to buy on the Pelicans though if they don't have Zion and they don't have Brandon Ingram. That's out for the concussion in the back. But also we talked about a little bit about this off air, RC. Herb Jones he tremendously impacts the game for the Pelicans. Right. We know how I mean, especially when you're going against a guy like Luka, who he was going to be the primary defender for, like I think everybody else is food on that team. Right. Because, as great as the Pelicans are defensively, it's still going to be really, really difficult to stop Luka, who may be arguably the best scorer in our league. Right. So I think that impacts the game. So I would only look towards taking the Mavs. I think it might still be a little bit of value in the line right now. I know it opened. But the other thing that kind of makes me want to stay off just a tad bit and probably lean more towards a total, which I don't think I play it now, but looking at the beat writers, listening into how the Pelicans how they started the season with the loss against Utah and giving up 121 points, I think that they do try to come out here and, assert their dominance on the defensive end. One thing that's a tad bit scary for me, RC, is if I wanted to back the Pelicans, is I was watching that Utah game versus the Pelicans really, really closely. And what I watched, RC, was the way that you counter and disrupt what the Pelicans want to do is you just put shooters around Luka, right? Because if you watch this Utah team play, they spread the floor. Everybody can shoot. Lauri Markkanen, Kelly Olynyk, the guys at the 5. And what they did was they played Valanciunas off the floor. The Pelicans want to beat you by rebounding the ball. They've out-rebounded their opponents by 30 rebounds per game before that game against Utah. And they want to, their length and athleticism to be able to make you shoot contested shots, either from 3, but not get into the paint, right? And that's what Valanciunas does. They played Larry Nance off the floor. They played Valanciunas off the floor and had Larry Nance come in because because Larry Nance can move more laterally, of course, and quicker. So Valanciunas wasn't a part of that game. I see a guy like Christian Wood being able to do the same thing in this game, RC. So that scares me a little bit if I did want to back the Pelicans in this spot.
Yeah, for me, all right. So one thing that we talked about earlier is looking back to last year when they didn't have Zion and Ingram in the lineup. Just looking at that all together, 1-6-1 straight up. 1-7 straight up, 1-6-1 against the spread when they're the home dog, 7-1 to the over. And if we looked at it after the All-Star break when they picked up McCollum as well, it becomes 0-3 straight up and against the spread and 3-0 to the over. To me, I think you lose a lot of length, right, with Ingram there. You lose a lot of physicality with Zion. Not having Herbert Jones, the best perimeter defender on the squad, to even have a chance to stop in Luka is a big issue as well. I mean, I think to me, McCollum is a great offensive player, but I don't think his perimeter defense is really that great. Other than that, who is going to be able to stop Luka or I mean, how well the Dallas offense has been playing, right? The only way that I could feel like New Orleans would have a chance to even cover this spread or even have a chance to win would be to play offense. That's the way that I would look. And they've been playing a faster pace so far this season than they were last season. Dallas still continues to play a slow pace, but their offense is really efficient. So that's where it gets tricky with the total. But I do like Dallas here. I know we talk about the injured player theory. When a key player goes missing, everybody steps up. But the fact that you're missing 3 cumulatively high-level players, to their own aspect, right? Defensive player in Jones, offensive players in Ingram and Zion, that is a huge loss to account for. 3 key players like that. So to me, injured player theory would work well if it was just one of those guys. But with all 3 of them, I don't think it helps at all. To me, I think at the -5 line right here, right where we have it right now, I think it's just too. I think there's still a little bit of value. I got it at 4.5 when everyone was still doubtful, or game time decision. Once it got out, only moved a number of 1 point. And I just don't think that was enough. So for me, I would say Dallas is still the play at 5.5.
Yep, I agree. I think they win the game by 7 or 8 today too.
Did you have anything official on it?
Nothing official on that one at all. I see.
All right. So next up, we got the Clippers and the Thunder here. This one's tough. I mean, OKC got
nobody,
no Giddey, no SGA. So you're really focusing in on Dort here, and seeing if
Terrence Mann,
and Man, and also Poku probably. Pokusevski maybe. I don't know. I just don't feel like they have enough to.
I watched that skip this game. He's talking about some shirts.
Skip this game. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like it's tough. Like how can you go even if Paul George is out? The Clippers team is so deep that it doesn't really matter. If both Kawhi and Paul George was out, then maybe there'd be a difference. But even at a nearly double-digit line here, like the only way that I could look is towards the Clippers. So I know the Thunder are really great as road dogs, heavy road dogs. At home, it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? So I don't know. To me, the Clippers is the only way that I could go. What are your thoughts on this one?
RC, let's look up. I hadn't looked this up. I just had the thought while you were saying that. Let's look up. How they actually start the games. Can we check that out real quick? Can you SDQL that? When the Thunder are at home as dogs of, let's just say, more than 9 last year. Let's see how well they did. See if we can find value maybe in the first quarter or the first half or anything like that.
There's that first half. So there's that first half where the team that's the favorite is like, all right, let's blow these guys out the water, then get our starters some rest in the second half,
right?
To get ready for the next game. And that's where OKC kind of sticks it out and just like, all right, let's just keep playing our game and see if we could figure something out. That would be the only way that I go, would be the opposite team here in the first half, or the favorites in the first half. But to me, I think because of how deep the Clippers are, it don't matter who the starters are or who the people are. They should be able to take care of it throughout the game. And missing both SGA and Giddey, that's a problem for the long haul, not just the first half. The longer the game goes, the less opportunity that the Thunder have. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, RC, can you add? Yeah, add with the line greater than let's just say like 8. I think the line today is 9, but let's just say 8. So they're losing the first quarter, even worse. Okay. All right, cool. So that's what 30, 60 points, 61.
Yeah.
61 to 53.
Give me the dog have first half. No, they don't have first half stats.
61 to 53, RC. That's 8 points. And the spread for the first half is -5.5. I could only look to take the Clipper, and this is really live cap, and this is less cap, RC, because I hadn't had that thought until you said that. And
how about this? Let's look at Clippers too. Then let's look at Clippers
as favorites of the same.
Yeah. Let's just say the same thing.
Yeah, line greater than 8, 8 to 9, or something like that.
Clippers favorites line less than. Did I just do something wrong? I don't think so.
Greater than 8, right?
Nah, because they're favored by 8 or more.
Oh, okay. I said it wrong.
Were they not favored last season by?
Change the 8 to like a 3, RC, and see if the line changes. Okay, so yeah, you got it right.
That's interesting. Oh wait, sorry. Yeah, that's interesting. Well,
what if you go -6?
Oh, look at all those unders.
I took that under.
You did?
Yes, sir. Remember I told you I got that one in.
That's right. Oh, damn. A 2-11 and 2 to the under.
Yes, sir. And Paul.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that. I was hella mad because they didn't open the line for me until
that's the one I took. Morning on my show, RC, I was talking about this one, and the line, like you said, I think the line opened at.
You're right, Akbar.
What Akbar say?
Huh? Their lineup never the same.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. But we don't really need it to be the same. I think so. I got this one RC at 219. I think it opened at 220. I got it at 219 and a half this morning. That was 4 a.m. your time, 7 a.m. my time. Right after my morning show, I did it. I went ahead and put this one in. So it's steamed down 5 points already, and it only makes sense without them, their guys being able to score. Also, RC, I think probably looking at a team total under for the Thunder, right? I mean,
there you go. That's the way to go.
Yeah,
that's the way to go. I like that team total under.
I wonder what they got.
Who's gonna score?
Right, who is gonna score? Right, yeah.
Even if the Clippers struggle to score, they're gonna limit the Thunder from scoring. I like that. All right, I like that one. Yeah. What is it right now?
I'm about to look it up right now. Let's see. I see 102 and a half, RC. I don't think they score 100 points in this game.
Let me see what I have. Team total.
Clippers are giving up 106, RC, which is 6. They had the 6th best defense in the league right now. And, of course, that's games, played against a lot better offenses than this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I got 102.5 too.
You got 102.5?
Yeah. Damn, I'm hella mad. I missed that open line. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that under 202.5. Sorry, 102.5.
Yeah, under 102.5.
What have they done? $106, 117, 108. You got the Wolves playing a fast pace. Nuggets
Playing
are playing a
fast.
fast pace this year, or how
Yeah,
the heck
they
did
are.
that happen?
The Nuggets playing fast. Didn't they catch the Nuggets sleeping on the second night of back to back? No,
Yeah.
no. It was look ahead spot for the Nuggets.
Oh, Nuggets are playing a fast pace.
Yeah, they are. No
Clippers.
defense, but yeah, they playing fast.
All right.
I mean, by far, this is the best defense they faced, RC. By far.
Yeah. Finesse 50.5 OKC.
Team total, first half team total.
Over or under?
Might be a bad look either way.
Under.
Clippers
Oh yeah, look under.
shut them down early and yeah. I like that look too. I see. I like that look for nice. 50.5. I don't think they get the 50.5 points in the first half. What did we show on the screen, RC, when we looked at that? The Thunder as home favorites.
Look at their
Wasn't
first
it like
quarter.
52? Wasn't it 52?
Say that again.
Remember we looked at, you just ran the Thunder at home as a dog of more than 8. I think they were scoring like 52 points in that spot. Wasn't it like 52-60 or something like that? Because I said it was 8 points. What, a line that was greater than 8? I think we said 9.
$52.5.
53. So about 53 points. Yeah, they don't get the 50 tonight though, because you got to subtract Giddy out of that lineup. You got to subtract SG.
Yeah. Let's do that real quick. I can't even get on on Give Me the Dog we could take players out. I don't even know how to. I don't know how they do SGA's name on here. I can't figure it out. Home dog.
Dang, yeah, that sucks. If you just type it in, it won't work. Like regular.
It doesn't. Giddy's name works, Josh Giddey, but SGA's name doesn't.
Dang, I don't think I looked at that at all.
Yeah, I don't know about that. What the hell? So Giddy out, home dog.
They score more points?
Yeah, bro, I don't understand that.
No, that's opponent, RC.
No, sorry. Yeah, but you're still looking at. I'm still looking at them.
49, right?
Yeah,
that's 28 and 28.
And Celtics, they played Celtics. They're a really good defense.
Mm-hmm.
They scored 123. Who was scoring for them? Sorry, let me go back here.
Yeah, we gotta check that out.
What the hell did Give Me the Dog do to their site? Where's the Celtics? This one? It's like they didn't care. They're just like, all right, we're gonna outscore them and win instead.
That's how they've been trying to play this year.
They had SBA. Trey Mann went off. Ooh. Someone mentioned Trey Mann on props too.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at him, right? Like, I feel like it's mandatory.
Baisley went off. Yeah, I don't know.
Matt Stoney said, I feel like it could go under, but if there's really much defense, if there's not really much defense from either team, it could just become a shootout in any given quarter. Yeah, I don't see it being a shootout, though. I just feel like you got to stifle these guys. Like, I see what you're saying, Stoney, but I just feel like you got to stifle these guys.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's just the problem is it went down 5 points, 6 points already.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only problem.
Yeah.
The spread hasn't moved a lot, and it just feels like Clippers. Maybe I gotta relook at this. Maybe the Clippers first half or Clippers full game.
Yeah, I see one. I do want to give out real quick. I do want to give out the player prop that I haven't actually put this in yet, but I am going to in all disclosure. I'm just waiting for the line to drop on another book. But I'm taking don't
What
sleep on the
the?
Thunder's death. He put an LOL. He probably just kidding. uh Zubac, RC. Zubac rebounds over 10.5. We've seen this Thunder team. They do not rebound the ball well. Not Carl Anthony Towns. Rudy Gobert has had 20 plus rebounds twice against them. I think I got them listed at the third worst rebounding team, I'm sorry. They're allowing the third most rebounds in the league. Zubac rebound prop is at 10.5 at a minus 125. Yeah. He's averaging 11 and on 17.7 rebound chances this year. Also, the Clippers will be without Paul George, who's a great rebounder in this spot. I just think that means more rebound opportunities for Zubac. I probably play him up to like 14, honestly, on a ladder.
Yeah, makes sense. Look at Oklahoma here against centers, allowing the most rebounds. Easiest matchup here for centers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely a good look. I like that. Zubac, right?
Zubac, yep. Zubac over 10.5.
I might tell that one. All right, so last one. Warriors, Suns. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even look at this one at all. So this one, I'll be going in blind. Did you have anything on this one at all?
I think so. For the Warriors, RC, of course, it's their first road game. I feel like every game they play so far has been at home in their new arena, and that's because it has been. So you get them, against the actual contender, because they've been playing against teams that aren't necessarily contenders. They played the Lakers. They just beat up on the Kings, even though the Kings came back. To me, what sticks out, RC, is the Warriors defense. I think, they've been able to score the ball. They're averaging 120 points or more. I just feel like I haven't really watched Phoenix play a lot, in full disclaimer, which is why I didn't really want to cap this game too much. I need to go back and watch them. But I saw that Devin Booker's been on a tear. I've been watching, the shorter versions, the condensed games. He's been cooking. And also, we talked a little bit about this, RC. Steph's been going crazy. The guy's averaging 33. He's had games of 33 twice and 34. And I feel like Steve Kerr, he mentioned the minutes limit for his starters, but Steph still playing 33 minutes a game, the most on the team. And his point prop, you can get at 26.5. So that's one way I was looking in this one, RC, was taking Steph over the 26.5. I like to take, competitive superstars on the road. And I also feel like, Jordan Poole and Clay aren't the better versions of themselves. I think they're kind of working themselves into the lineup and for Clay in the shape. So I think they rely heavily on Steph. I like his over 26.5 points, but I didn't play it yet.
For Curry, 26.5. Yeah, I think I see a lot of people looking at over on points, over on the total.
Mm-hmm.
Makes a lot of sense here. I think for me, I feel like Phoenix took a step down defensively, especially not having Crowder. I know a lot of people don't think he's like a key part of it, but he brings a lot to the table that a lot of these other players don't bring. There's that grit, grit, and like that different type of energy that Crowder brings to that starting lineup that they're missing. We kind of saw that in that first game too.
Against Dallas.
Against Dallas. Phoenix against the Clippers. So what they are? So they played the Blazers. Blazers are just, playing out of their minds right now, and then they beat the Clippers. And if I remember correctly, was someone missing that game
for the Clippers?
Yeah, for the Clippers.
Mm-mm.
Or was everybody there?
No. Paul George missed that game, didn't he?
No. George was there. Maybe Kawhi was out?
No, I feel like Kawhi played in that game.
Yeah, they all played.
Yeah, they all played.
I'm not sure what happened there. This one's a tough one for me. I don't think I'm gonna place anything. This is just for me a wait and see type game because Golden State, they're not playing their lineup the way that they will be towards the end of the season. Coach Kerr mentioned everyone's not going to be playing past 30 minutes, past the 30-minute mark for a majority of the beginning of the season, and that's going to affect how the team plays. in my opinion. I like how deep the Golden State team is, but when you play a higher caliber organization like the Phoenix Suns, I just don't know if we could trust that depth, especially when Booker looked like he's on a mission right now.
He does.
He knows he doesn't have the help he had last season.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of going off, and you can see he's not doing nothing else but scoring at this point. In my I don't know. The first game he was trying to facilitate, nothing happened for him and his squad, and he's like, all right, I gotta do this all by myself now. So that's how I see it. And if he doesn't go off, then Golden State's gonna control this game from tip to buzzer. But he needs some help, and his bench is not. I don't like his bench. I don't think there's a lot of offense coming off of that bench. Campaign is a good leader off of the bench. He's a good facilitator, but he's not that guy that's going to give you 20 plus. You know what I mean? Off the bench on any given day. And in the Western Conference, with how deep the team is, the conference is, you need that. And I don't think they have one of those guys right now. That's just my opinion. But at the end of the day, these guys play fast. I think Phoenix's defense took a step down. So maybe the over is a good look, like everyone in the chat is saying. Euphoria saying under head-to-head 8-2 to the under, though. I don't know.
So Euphoria, I would say to that the Golden State so far this season, the Golden State's 3-0 to the over, and Phoenix is, I think, 0-2-1 to the under. So Phoenix has been playing defense. Golden State has not been playing defense. Just trying to outscore people. And as you mentioned, RC, I think it's important to mention, like you said, I feel like Golden State has the better bench, but this bench has been able to play at home, where you get a lot more support in the first couple games. Now it's going to be their first road test for guys like Moody, right? Guys like Wiseman, which I still like Wiseman, Kuminga, they bringing him back, but they also don't have DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo's out because he has a hamstring injury. So that's important to mention as well. So I think, as the season goes on, RC, especially now that we're so early in the season, so young, I think I'm going to be looking to attack some of these games from a player prop perspective versus a side or a total if I don't feel extremely confident about the total. And I'll reference the game last night, RC. I really like Memphis to win last night. I'm sorry, I really like Brooklyn to beat Memphis last night with, the Memphis team kind of looking the way that they look. And I really like the over. And I didn't play the over, but I played the side. And, of course, the over flew over. And, of course, Brooklyn couldn't get a stop. Looked like they were playing defense with their hands behind their back. So I think I'm probably just look more to a player prop because I also like KD to go over his points, of course, and that hit in the third quarter, but my actual bet didn't win. So I think, in these games, I see I'm going to be looking to play a player prop probably for half a unit versus putting something on the side or a total for a whole unit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just looking at, someone mentioned the Suns defense. It does look like from a point perspective, like points allowed, it looks like it's very low. But I think these teams that they faced are pretty slow-paced teams, especially the Mavericks.
And the Clippers.
And the Clippers, yeah. Blazers, I feel like they're like in the middle of the pack. So
yeah, the Blazers don't run fast. They kind of like play at different paces throughout the game, it feels like, RC. Like Dame is real in control of that offense. Like he can, push it, and then he can also slow it down. We saw it last night. If you stayed up and watched that game last night, like they looked really slow in the first half.
God,
and the third quarter started. The third quarter started, and it was like, phew, phew, phew.
Yeah. Anthony went off in that third quarter. Oh, my God.
Yes, he did. Dame followed him up in the fourth. So, yeah. I feel like that's a crazy team to kind of, judge their pace for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have anything official on this one, but this will be a good game to really see where both heads are at, after the fact.
Who has more to prove? Who has more to prove this early in the season? RC, or
I feel like it's the Suns,
cares?
Right? The Suns,
right? I agree. The Suns.
I feel like everyone's down on them, even myself. I mean, that's my opinion. I think everyone thinks that. Look, they probably should have lost to the Mavs. Then they lost to the Blazers. They beat the Clippers. What was Clippers in a bad spot there?
I didn't even really cap that game too much, so I won't. It was like one of the later games, so I won't.
Clippers was on a second of back-to-back.
Okay,
there you go. So they're on a second at back-to-back. And then I think, I feel like the Suns have more to prove. That's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, so I ask myself that question sometimes. I see when I'm capping again. Who has the most to prove, and do they care about proving it? Do we think that Phoenix actually wants to come out here and assert their dominance on this Golden State team? What do you think about that, RC? You think they care about what they have to prove, or no?
I mean, I know Booker does.
Right. So it sounds like you want a Devin Booker overprop.
It might be the way to go. But I mean, he just seems like he's the only one that really cares. I mean, Paul is like a shell of himself.
I was gonna say that you took the words right out of my mouth.
And defense, which sucks. I mean, he's like one of my favorite players.
Same
historically. So it just sucks to see him like that. And their bench is not that good. So Booker's the only way. He's the only guy that's like, all right, I got to put this on myself. Nobody else is gonna do that, right? Aiden don't care.
Right.
Aiden he's going through the motions.
Aiden gets Draymond tonight. RC. I don't know if you watched the episode of what's it called? LeBron's show, The Shop. But they had that LeBron asked him that question on The Shop where he asked them about are there times when you're like, man, I just don't want to, like, I don't want to bring it tonight. I don't want to play against this guy. And he said, no, it's the opposite. Like, I'm like, man, this dude sucks. Like, it's harder for me to get up for this game, right? I love playing against LeBron and, some of the upper echelon competition. So I feel like he brings it on a night like tonight, right? When you get Aiden, don't you think, like, he probably going to bring it? I would look at Aiden and go, I don't know. I don't think Aiden going to have a great night tonight. I'll just put it like that.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Akbar with the ladder here. Man, that's pretty good, bro. That's pretty good. 30 at plus 135. That looks good.
Yeah, Finesse said Paul assists in D-Book first quarter if it's under 10.
See, man, I don't even get that stuff. I'm like, Washington sucks at allowing these types of bets because those look like they just hit. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. Well, that is the 4 games. Do you want to go through your officials real quick?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, so officially on the first game, I'm on Jaden Ivey over the 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I talked about him clearing that number pretty easily over the last first 3 games of his career. It's not a back-to-back spot either, so I like him to go over the 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists combined today. I am also official on. It's not gonna help the show any, but I'm official on the Clippers and the Thunder under the 219. That number has been steamed down to 214, I think now. Those are the only 2 things that I locked in, RC. But I am going to play. I'm going to play Zubac over 10.5 rebounds, minus 125. I just feel like it's an absolute smash spot for him. Averaging 11. He gets a Thunder team that's giving up the most rebounds in the league. They don't have Paul George, who averages about 7 rebounds a game. So I think that's even more rebounds for Zubac. And I don't see a way that he gets played off the floor unless he's in foul trouble. And I don't see them, really getting him in foul trouble tonight either. So those are probably going to be, those are going to be my officials, RC. Heavy lean to me for I like Steph a lot, 26.5. But like you said about Devin Booker, I think he also goes off in this spot. But I'll probably end up playing Steph to go over his 26.5. I just haven't put it in yet.
Okay. And then for me, I think I'm going to go official on that Wizards first quarter minus 1.5. My book is juiced at minus 120. So it looks like it's trending in that direction. Mavericks minus 5.5. And I'm going to go ahead and just take the Clippers to win by double digits here. I just don't see. If I lose.
You cool with it.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
What you're saying is that. What you're saying, RC, is that if the Thunder got enough players on their team to keep the game within 10 points at the end, then you fine with that. Enough
I'm fine
offense.
with it, dude. Like, I'll take the loss on that. Double-digit Clippers, even with Paul George out, no Giddey, no SGA. If you get beat by Trey Mann, so be it. You know what I mean? Or Lou Dort. I don't think Lou Dort is a really good shooter in general, but
tip your cap to him. I'm with you, RC.
That's what I'm saying. I think I feel like that's the right play to go.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna tell you on a couple of your props here. I like that Zubac rebounds. Um, and then man, I like Akbar's Booker 30 plus.
Yeah, I like that
That
one
plus
too.
135 too. I might look at that one as well.
Yeah.
But I won't go official on those props. I just like the Wizards first quarter, Mavs minus 5.5, and then the Clippers full game.
I like it, RC.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
get a
it.
sweep, man. Let's get a
Let's get it.
sweep. We don't
Yeah,
do the
I
show
need it
too
after
often. We
yesterday's
gotta get a
after
sweep. We gotta get a
yesterday's
sweep.
1-4 day. I need a sweep today. Get that back. But at the end of the day, it's a full season. Still up on the season to start. So take it day by day and see where we go from there. That's it. Anything to promote before we cut out? I know you got the shows in the morning. You got 2 shows in the morning? No. You got show in the morning, then you got spaces.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. So it's a show in the morning. Yeah, Cashed It with Chris is in the morning. Every morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time. So you guys can tune in with me. I'm going over, early lines. Ski say New York. That's funny. Yeah, and Ski on Zubac rebounds. Let's go, Ski. Let's get some money tonight. Let's get some cash. But yeah, RC, morning show, 7 a.m. Kind of, trying to beat the lines if possible. And then the spaces in the evening, which is also a YouTube show as well, 5:15 Eastern time. If you guys want to tap in with me there. Also open it up to the community. So if you guys got plays you want to share, you guys can share your plays as well. But that's all I got, RC. Appreciate you having me on, bro. And let's get some cash today, man.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna see if I could try to do this every Tuesday and Thursday because I got the Sports Memo triple double every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I don't want to double up on talking about basketball. So that's probably the way that I'll go. Maybe I'll see you guys on Thursday and continue doing it throughout the season. Ski coming in late here with the Clipper talk. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hey, it's like 4 a.m. in the morning on this side, so it's tough. No.
I don't expect y'all to be there, man. But when I see
it's like
it's 7. It's 7 for
okay,
me.
yeah.
It's 4 for y'all. I don't expect y'all to be up. I'm on the East Coast. I stay up till 1:00 a.m. to watch the game, and then I'm back up at like 5 a.m. Working out, capping the game. So yeah. And Raven, that's Raven said, what was the Zubac prop? It was over 11.5 rebounds. And if you want to get it in, you should probably go ahead because I do think it'll probably get juiced throughout the day. It's actually 10.5. I'm sorry, 10.5 rebounds, minus 125 right now. So it's a tad bit juiced, but I like the look a lot.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully we'll do this on Thursday. If you guys just like and subscribe, then you'll get the notification that if I have it on Thursday, or I'll post it on Twitter with the link as well. With that said, this is the end of the show, guys. Thanks to all who tuned in on YouTube and on Twitter. If you are on YouTube, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button before you bounce. Make sure you check out the links in the description as well. We got the chalkboard link and the what is the QR code there to me, Chris, and Finesse the Books chalkboard community there. Hopefully to be more active in there. And make sure you check out the other links as well. There's links to SDQL site, links to the odds pages and things like that. And as always, man, I gotta end with this. Please remember, whether you fade us or follow us, it's on you to make that call. Good luck on all your action. Till next time, peace.